Hey, what up, guys? Admiral USS Bob here. It seems to be you guys really seem to like the Empires of the Undergrowth videos, so I'm going to just keep bringing them to you guys. Probably a lot more in the future. 85 views is a lot more than I was expecting, and relative watch time. Anyways, getting right into it, we're going to do some subjugation. I have a very strong strategy, so we're going to be able to get through this fairly quickly. First, we're just going to start with getting this area all cleared out, getting as many workers as we can. Getting workers is going to allow us to define the system and how the coding of this level works. So just skipping through here, first we're going to get a little bit of food storage as it shows with the empty tiles, and then we have workers in this little column here. This little column will allow us to have a bunch of workers and then upgrade all of them to get the amount that we need placed and upgraded. As you need to complete the build plus upgrade, and obviously you need 50 just to be able to meet the conditions to win. So by building in this little spot, you can get probably about 20 or more and then upgrade all of them so you have good fighters. That'll be very handy late game, especially if you manage to mess up a little bit. Going with that, then we can just go from there to my main part of the strategy. Okay, we got it all pretty much cleared out all the food. We're just going to keep it upgraded. And yeah, now we can really start. But what we're going to want to make sure is we don't want to go for the doubles. Not until we have soldiers to actually kill them. What we're going to go through is the singles. All the singles are going to be very good for us to go through, but not the doubles. Doubles are bad. Not triples either, especially on impossible difficulty. Not until very late. Over here, we're going to show you right here. So what we do is we dig in, right? We make sure our attack is off. So we'll not fight the spider. We go, we gather all of the food, and then we dip as fast as we can to lose as little workers as possible, right? We got a ton of food without killing the spider. Now, we might have lost a bunch of workers for nothing, but that's the thing with the workers, it only costs 2 to replace them, and we're capable of being able to bypass the system that makes it so that when you kill one of the spiders, it starts sending the raids. So if you never kill a spider, you don't have to deal with raids. Not having to deal with the raids on this level from the slave maker ants allows you to get significantly farther, significantly faster without having to have losses, or not as many, because the slave makers, especially on like impossible difficulty, will kill a lot more of your ants than any of the spiders ever will. Just going back here, right? Continuing through, just go get the food from the spider and leave when you get most of the food. You're almost like acting like the slave maker ants themselves, except you're just stealing the fighter's food instead of having the slave maker ants steal your eggs. And then we go on to the next spider. Go through, we dig the hole, and we'll even start trying to start digging 2 of them. Bring the workers up, and bam, we go down and we get as much food as we can. And then once we have the food, we can start building soldiers to add to the mix. Obviously, we're a little bit thin, so we're probably going to end up placing a marker for them to go to so we can huddle up. In fact, actually, no, it worked out pretty perfectly with how much food we end up keeping. Once again, we can just go to the next one. I don't even really have to edit. That's what's really nice. It's happening so fast and it's so quick. Even on impossible difficulty, I'm getting through a lot of it without having to deal with any slave maker ants yet. And this is like only a couple minutes of work. In fact, according to a lot of pros, if you want to have a lot of food for time spent, this is the best level to get a lot of food for time spent. So I know I said I wasn't going to go for 2s, but we have a lot more soldiers, and now we are actually going to kill them. Now that we're at the point where we either have to run over spiders to be able to get to more spiders, there's no point in just taking those extra losses. At that point, it is starting to be just a losing game. So going out, killing them, taking the food, and then going off and quickly killing all the other ones and taking food from the other ones that are easily accessible now that we have a much larger army than we did before. And at this rate, with the less losses, we can continue to just farm the spiders and then their food that we get, and any of the little woodworms or wood lice. Something to take notice is that the slave maker ant that you can't have your soldiers or workers attack just took the first egg. Now, if you killed the spiders right away, that would have happened a long time ago and the waves would have started and you would just start losing everything. Once again, we're going to take that 2 out and then we're going to go through probably either the left or the right depending on how we want to do it, but trying to kill more spiders can get you a lot despite all of the benefits of going for the mysteries. So it's just kind of what you prefer as a playstyle. I'll just do whatever I like at the moment. Okay, so we're just going to end up taking out this spider that's all by itself in the right. And you can see we have the raid thing in the top right, but we're going to end up taking out this spider first, just so we can get that over with, instead of wasting our time not fighting. And then we can just wait for the raid, perhaps take a little bit of food when we can. That'll help us with replenishing and all that. Making sure our nursery workers are also not trying to fight or harvest, then yeah. See, that wave is already really bad. Like, if you had a weaker colony, even against wave 1, you would suffer a lot more. This is why doing this strategy is extremely strong. And then just clearing out all of the food here. We're probably going to end up going for some more spiders, making sure that we're actually upgrading our soldiers, which will help with not only killing the spiders, but also killing the slave maker ants, because once they get higher level, they have so much HP and so much damage compared to black ants. And then, yeah, we just take out some 2-pack of spiders. We get a bunch of food. They're all right next to each other, so really it's not a whole lot of losses. We go and we have another raid to do, so we just defend against that. And you keep doing this until you end up getting enough upgrades. If you do it right, you should end up just being able to not have to worry about the raids getting super strong. Because, like, this is just wave 2. It's, for my colony, not bad at all. We just kill all of their raiders and then we destroy the high level attackers. And yeah, with an overwhelming force, we end up beating them. And then we're going to set our sights to the left, which is going to open up the Devil's Coach Horse and then the other such food that we get for that's living. What's funny is that only some of the Devil's Coach Horse will actually leave, and then they'll just have a couple that'll stay there. So if you do it right, you can actually just fight less of them at once, and then they slowly come in, and you kill them even faster. And as we're seeing, we're pretty close to the win condition. So all we have to do is just get a little bit more food, get a couple more soldiers, and we'll be able to win like it's nothing. With that food, we are now able to get the win condition, and now we get a wave to start, and it's the final wave. It is amplified compared to what the normal wave would be, but that's the thing. It's only wave 3, 4. That's not bad, especially because if you get to like wave 10 or more, especially on impossible difficulty, it is just an endless horde and then a bunch of level 3s that you have to deal with that you're not going to be able to sustain. So that's why just using this strategy and getting all of the food before you kill the spiders is very strong. And personally, not killing the spiders at some point just so you don't take less losses is something I prefer. It's less so something that you have to do. Once again, taking the royal jelly. Royal jelly is very important. Getting it early on will help you, especially if you have the DLC for the exploding ants or termites. They're ridiculously expensive. And the moment you start actually needing to do other things, especially if you want to upgrade them with the indefinite upgrade stats, you really need just that much. And you don't need a whole lot of food or territory. It really doesn't do you much. I mean, at some point, yeah, you do need food, but you can do a couple levels and you'll have more than the food that you'll need, especially once you start getting into the higher food giving levels. Or you can just do the farming for food, like I said before, with getting subjugation down. And then I'll let you guys once again choose what I will let you guys. I mean, if you guys comment down below, you guys can have whatever you want. Obviously, I'll choose the whatever I want for the workers. I like the efficient, brute, and nimble. But you guys can end up just getting whatever you want for the queen and the black ant. So I'm going to end up getting efficient, brood, and was going to get nimble. But yeah, you guys can choose between royal guard and royal degree. I'll let you guys kind of just have it for a second. And then you guys can have meat wall or dangerous on the black ants. Actually, I forgot about the other queen thing. Fierce mother or second wind. Pretty nice for both of them. And then once again that. And then either self-preservation or self-repair. And yeah, you guys can have whatever you want from there. You guys like, comment. We're going to end up just finishing up a lot of the colony stuff, getting more food storage and all that, and we'll talk when we have that done. Okay, so we've pretty much finished everything we can do. We got a ton of food storage. We got a couple upgraded things. We're just going to end up finishing off speed tiles that we can. And we're going to go through New Home again, and we're going to do it the challenge mode. Challenge mode adds for a different type of creature to be lurking in the undergrowth, but it's pretty much going to be the same strategy. So we're just going to kind of skip from there. Something nice you can do, you can pre-plan out the little cheat system to getting all of the free food and just having it done, and as soon as you open up those caverns, your workers will immediately open up to the next ones. So you can work on actually defeating what you need to defeat rather than just having to constantly keep opening. So now that we have some soldiers, we're just going to go after this single guy. Nothing really special to it. We send the workers in with them so they also fight. And yeah, it's just a nice quick battle. Trying to slowly expand. Lose a worker, but who cares when we just get a ton of food in return. And then the second group, but now this time, or no, there's still one. But yeah, just once again doing the same thing, slowly growing, getting the weak enemies. Basic divide and conquer. And really all you have to do in between any of these is just place more soldier tiles and then wait for the eggs to spawn. That's literally the only thing that I'm editing out, is just waiting for the eggs to spawn and then placing the tiles. Yeah, that's about it. Unless you want a really big challenge, you probably will just end up going for all the weakest guys, which is once again what I was just talking about with divide and conquer. Really just trying to get these weak guys right away, and then going and trying to get the wood lice is optimally the best. Just helps you with growing faster rather than having to fight through enemies that you really shouldn't have to when you're already pretty weak. Oh, also, we have the first mole cricket coming in. They dig into the ground, they create the dust cloud, and then they spawn in, and you have to fight them, otherwise then you're probably gonna lose, I'd assume. I don't know how you'd win if you never do anything with them. But yeah, typically they're a net good value for food, not about 19, so as long as you don't lose too many workers or soldiers, that's actually kind of helping you in a way, get you more food so you can expand more. And then we'll just go for these guys. We're just going to keep the soldiers because we don't want to have unnecessary worker casualties. That'll just make things a little bit worse. And even in the narrow hallway where we're just a little bit spread out in our attacks, we still take them out pretty effectively. Okay, so two things. One, building that highway that's on the left, and then two, taking out these guys so we can get to the wood lice. We skipped one of the little hordes of guys because it just wasn't worth it. We could take them out when they're bigger. And then actually the ones to the left as well. But going from here, we can get tons of free food. See that with the wood lice? Make sure to stop attacking the workers because the workers should be digging to go get more things for us to kill and get food for free. Alright, so we're just gonna end up taking up all the food from the wood lice, and we have different crickets coming. Yeah, they're or not. Whatever. Different, yeah, mole crickets. Never mind. See, we're just gonna end up easily taking them out. We can only do one at a time right now. Any that die will end up just fighting the other one to the left, or the workers. Who really cares? We just end up taking out the one, and then we take out the other. Once again, still very big food profit considering what we're dealing with. Yep, and easy kill. Time to continue just killing up all this stuff. Probably come back when that happens. Alright, we're done with most of our stuff, and then, yeah, we're about to go attack more enemies. Try to take out these guys. Oh, we got multiple to defeat. Well, in that time coming, I ended up making another group, and then we can just continue upgrading the main group. Fight all these guys down here. And yeah, they're more of a nuisance than they are anything else. I really think there's only probably 2 different ones that actually end up being really annoying and can ruin entire runs, and it's the reason why I really don't plan impossible difficulty when I have the challenge mode on, because I'm simply not good enough to deal with that. Yeah, we're just going to do a different strategy. Instead of trying to just cut them off and have 2 different groups, at least for most of these, we're just going to end up having one big front line, so we can end up killing all of them with a big surround, since we have a much bigger army, and we can take less losses while doing more damage. And then once again, just doing that with the next one. That's really all any of these next ones are going to be, just making a bigger front line that we can use to wreck more of them all at once. Especially with level 3s having more attack speed, getting more of them with higher attack speed in means significantly more attacks. And then we just took out this one. Sorry, the clip got a little bit wrecked. So then we're just going to either go to the one to the left or up above, depending on what we decide to do. There's not too much of a difference, but we'll just go for this left one here. And then we will try to do a little bit of a splinter maneuver here, but we'll see what ends up actually happening. Sometimes, just with how the workers end up working, it doesn't go according to plan. And it seems like, yeah, the workers just messed it up there, so there's no point in not. So we'll just send everything up into the top. And yeah, probably end up still having a way just so there's quicker travel to the food storage. Still gonna kill them relatively well. Even with a mishap, like, it's really hard not to lose this level. Or to lose this level. And then we get more mole crickets. So with the challenge mode, it's just kind of a do a couple different enemies around you, and then you can end up just dealing with the mole crickets as they really give you more food. And there's an achievement where you can get 50 of them dead in one single time in impossible mode, I believe. And it's really not hard, just killing 50 of the mole crickets. You just keep yourself from taking out the last enemies. And really, you could probably rack up hundreds and hundreds, if not over 1,000 kills, because their food that you get from them is just so much better than what you actually, like, would need to kill them. Now we're just going to take out the next group, already mining that out. And from here, we can just get a lot done. It's probably going to end up being really close. We're probably going to get a single and then have a multiple when we're dealing with the final wave. Probably a very realistic thing to consider, because it just dealt with a multiple one. And we're probably going to end up beating this one, getting the food, and going back for the other one, probably digging out, and then having to deal with a single mole cricket. Just about how those things are timed out. So it takes a lot longer to get progress. That's how challenge modes work. My stand corrected. So we have a bunch of them, and I thought we had just done a bunch of them, but I guess we have to do with a bunch of them instead of a single. Now we have two groups though, so we can just deal with all of them really easily, especially because the more that you have opened up, the more area that they'll spawn around, which is nice for trying to separate them and make it easier, but at the same time, it really sucks for trying to just get them dealt with. And then, yeah, we're just going to take out this. Nice, quick, easy, get that mined out, have the workers either try to get food or run away, and then do the pincer maneuver. Going from here, yeah, we just end up dealing with this. In fact, I even think that the very top left one is significantly harder than the small one here. So, you know, just get a nice surround, then their big beetle can't really do anything. It sprays, but it only sprays like maybe 6. And then we get all the food. Really, you don't even need to upgrade from here. You could probably just do nothing, but we're just gonna go and save food and upgrade probably. You get a lot of food from doing these in the later parts of the mission, so there's that. And yeah, we have the double to deal with, or the single to deal with. The single will just be a little bit annoying. It's not going to do too much to us. So it ended up being the opposite of what I said it was going to be. Yeah, we ended up taking out, hopefully, that right side there with just a couple, although that's our weaker side. And our main army just got annihilated by their top forces stuff, but at least they should split up a little bit now again, hopefully. Yeah, they are splitting up a bit, so that will help. In fact, there's even a 1 HP wonder guy over there. Yeah, just insta-killed and taken for food. That huddle right there isn't great, but we're gonna end up dealing with it. Having the low levels deal with all those other guys over there. Once the high levels end up doing a bunch of damage, the big beetles will just start crumbling. And with only real single target damage, other than the spray, it doesn't do much. We should end up winning by the time those beetles or crickets come. Once those are all dead, then the crickets, even if they spawn, they won't be in time to end up halting us from completion. And yeah, it completes. We get a nice cutscene with all the soldiers end up defending against the mole crickets. Oh, see? We're gonna kill. Yeah, we're fighting them right now. We've already even killed one, too. Yeah, that's about how it ends up going. Nice little victory. Okay, so I ended up just getting all the food, upgrading all of our stuff for next time. Really just nothing special. We're gonna end up having the ants outside a little here. Get them all around here. And then, yeah, this will be it, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Hope you guys enjoy this as much as the last one. I'm hoping for even 100 views. Maybe we could try that instead of 85. I guess that's our little goal. I don't even care if you like or subscribe, just like low-key, I just want people to actually have enjoyment. Talk to you guys in the next video. Yeah, bye-bye.